hadn't felt sunlight in 12 years until my mother finally broke. I was 7 years old the last time I went outside. The rule in our family was that only the youngest child could go outside, and I'd spent my whole life dreading the day a new baby would be born. When my little brother arrived, my dad picked me up from school and said to look at the sky one more time because I wouldn't be seeing it again. He installed deadbolts on every door that locked from the outside and said older children carried corruption that would poison the youngest development. My older sister had never been outside in her life, and now I understood why she spent all day staring out windows. My dad would take my brother outside every single day while the rest of us watched from inside. My brother would run around the yard and my dad would push him on the swing and they'd go on walks around the neighborhood. My sister and I would press our faces against the glass, and my mom would stand behind us crying. When I asked my dad why we couldn't even go in the backyard, he said, "Your presence outside creates a contamination field that will damage your brother's immune system and cognitive development. Do you want to make him sick?" I was 7 and I believed him. My mom homeschooled all of us, and my brother got to do his lessons outside on nice days while my sister and I had to stay in the basement where there were no windows. My dad said even seeing us through the windows could harm my brother. By the time I was 10, my skin had turned grayish and I was sick constantly. My mom begged my dad to let me sit by a window for just an hour, and he said, "Do you want to kill your son? Because that's what you're asking me to allow." My brother knew exactly what power he had. He'd come inside after playing and describe everything he'd seen in detail just to torture us. He'd say things like, "The grass smells so good today and there were butterflies everywhere. Too bad you'll never know what that's like." My sister stopped eating and had to be hospitalized when I was 12. My dad told the doctors she had an autoimmune disorder and couldn't be exposed to sunlight. They believed him. When she came home, she had a vitamin D prescription, but my dad would only give her half doses because he said too much would make her want to go outside more. I started having panic attacks in the windowless basement. My mom would hold me while I hyperventilated and whisper, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to stop him." I said, "You could just unlock the door." She said, "He'd find us. He always finds people who break the rules." I didn't understand what she meant until I was 14, and I found old newspapers in the attic about my mom's family. Her father had kidnapped her mother and sister when they tried to leave, and no one had seen them since. My mom had stayed because she was terrified of what my dad would do if we ran. My brother got worse as he got older. He'd open windows just so we could smell the outside air and then slam them shut laughing. He'd bring dirt and leaves inside and make us smell them and describe what we were missing. When I was 16, I tried to break a window to at least feel fresh air. My dad heard the glass crack and dragged me to the basement and locked me in a closet for 3 days. My mom brought me food and water and cried while I ate. She said, "I was locked in a closet for 2 weeks once when I tried to leave. He's being generous with you." I said, "This isn't generous. This is torture." She said, "I know." When I was 17, my hair started falling out and my teeth were loose from malnutrition. My sister was having seizures from vitamin deficiency. My mom looked at us one day and said, "You're both dying." I said, "Then help us leave." She said, "He'll kill us all." I said, "We're already dead." 2 months later, my mom waited until my dad took my brother to a baseball game. She unlocked all the doors and said, "We're leaving right now. Grab nothing. Just run." My sister and I stepped outside for the first time in years, and I immediately collapsed. The sunlight felt like fire on my skin, and I couldn't breathe because the air was so different from the stale, recycled air inside. My mom dragged us both to the car, and we drove straight to a police station. My mom walked in and said, "I need to report that my husband has been holding our daughters prisoner for over a decade." The police didn't believe her at first until they saw me and my sister. We were both gray and skeletal and could barely stand. They sent us to the hospital and called CPS. My dad tried to claim we had a rare medical condition that required us to stay indoors, but the doctor said we had severe vitamin D deficiency, muscle atrophy from lack of movement, and psychological trauma from long-term confinement. CPS removed all of us from his custody. My brother screamed that we'd ruined his life. Dad went to prison. My sister and I spent 2 years in physical therapy. I still can't be in small rooms without panicking.